the Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee meeting, March 18th, 2019, 10:45 a.m. First order on the agenda here is to approve minutes of prior committee meetings. So moved by Supervisor Garrity, second by Supervisor Sokol. Any discussion on them? Revisions? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First will be the District Attorney. Jason, welcome.
Thank you. I only really have one thing on, but it was suggested I mention another thing. April 8th is the Crime Victim Breakfast Ceremony. It's going to be at the... Can you come? And I see you've got the invite. So that's going to be April 8th. It's the Adirondack Community College this year, our first time at that location. So I think everyone got their invites, and you're welcome to come, and we'd like to see you there. As far as what I'm looking for or asking about today, I don't know if you recall, but there was $10,000 budgeted for special prosecution of violations and misdemeanors in traffic matters. We are in a position now, we think we could enter into a contract to get someone to handle that role, and so I'm seeking permission for the county on behalf of the DA's office to enter into a contract.
Okay. Moved by Supervisor Simpson, second by Supervisor Hogan. Any questions? And I see this is out of your contractuals, it's not a salary.
Correct, it's already covered. What I'm hoping to do, the way it was done previously was there was an hourly fee, and then there was fees per level of offense. And I'm hoping that I've got someone that will do a flat fee that'll keep our numbers down, our prices down, so to speak. And if we can make it work, then the contract, whatever it'll be, will be within that figure that was already allotted.
All right, Supervisor Garrity.
Yeah, just how many cases do you have backlog?
But it's not a backlog. So what happens is, let's say that you have a man who is accused of assaulting a woman. He's a defendant, and the woman is also a defendant on something else. Well, we can't be...
Oh, you can't?
We can't handle both, so we got a conflict. On the low-level matters, what we're looking to do is have someone pick up those files and handle them. And the county judge will sign an order, and we'll have a person in place. So what we're doing now is we are basically reaching out to other counties and saying, will you do this? Will you do this? So just as of Friday, I had to reach out all the way to Schenectady because I couldn't get anyone. It's a problem sometimes getting people to take them because they've got their own issues and their own matters. A lot of times you'll see there's this, Washington might say to us, well, will you take 5 and we'll take 5, that kind of thing. Washington has a budget like we do now. They're just ahead of us because they've got someone that's doing some of that extra work. Saratoga has a budget for it, so now this gives us a little opportunity to handle the smaller things, quickly get them assigned out versus kind of calling around and trying to find another county to do it for us.
Supervisor Wild.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to withdraw my request.
Okay, Supervisor Hogan.
You're still paying them, so how is that not a conflict?
Well, this is, if you look at county law 7, I think it's 701, it permits a private attorney to be assigned. I'll give you an example. I think I read in the paper that Lee Kinlan has been assigned in Saratoga County to handle, in that case, I think it's a felony for sure. He's just a private attorney. It's going to be paid for by the county, and but our office, in that case, Saratoga County, wouldn't be handling the matter. In this case, Warren County DA's office would have no input on the file whatsoever. The file literally just goes over. If they say it should be dismissed, it gets dismissed. If whatever they choose, they choose. They have full control over the individual file.
Would this be similar to the assigned counsel and a public defender's thing where there's a conflict of interest and a private attorney?
Conceptually, it's the same thing. It's just this is on obviously a much smaller scale.
Any other questions for the district attorney? Call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you, Jason.
I do have a question.
We'll see you on the 8th.
Just a totally unrelated question. Jason, we just gave your staff some nice raises. What's the feedback?
Well, I had a staff meeting on Friday, and it looks like the people that I was concerned about leaving are not going to be leaving. So that's terrific, and I'm now in a position to try to fill that. We have an open position, And with the uncertainty, it was a little difficult. And with our figures being where they were, it was extra difficult. So now I feel like we're going to be in a position, I'm going to start doing some more interviews and second interviews. So I was just talking to Frank and saying, I don't know. I know how to say thank you. I just don't know the appropriate forum to say thank you. So why don't I start here? I'm very thankful. I think it's going to really help with retention. I think it's going to help us recruiting as well. I've said it before, retention for any field is super important because that learning curve is big, and particularly in the beginning, people are just getting up to speed and figuring out basic things, and you really need it. I know recently there was, I think something passed with your assigned counsel program where you're recognizing that need to have more and more experience the more serious something is. Well, if the people are constantly rolling out, it's difficult to build that experience, and that's something that we need in the profession.
Thank you, Jason.
Good to hear. Thank you for that question. That's good feedback. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Public Defender. Marcy, you have the floor.
Thank you. I just have one issue that's on here. I have a distribution 6. We're looking for a contract extension. This salary pays for my confidential secretary who handles all the grants. So if you say no, I'm going to quit. Just so you know that in the minute.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
Okay, moved by Supervisor Garrity. Is there a second? A second by Supervisor Merlino. Any other discussion on this one? Supervisor Wild.
No, I'm going to keep my comment to myself.
Oh, okay. And this is just 1-year extension
Yes.
we're looking at?
And
here?
Oil said we can do it, but I would like all of you to approve it, please. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None?
Thank you. So
Motion
I'm not going to
carries.
quit. Can I just fill you in on just 1 or 2 things that are not on the agenda, but I thought you'd wanted to know? I still have an open position, the brand-new 8th position that I have not filled. I went down to New York City with Lynn Pucciarelli of my office, and there was 13 law schools that were doing interviews. We interviewed some people there. Nobody had passed the bar yet, but we had met some good candidates. I went to Albany Law School this past month, end of February, to interview some candidates. Again, they haven't passed the bar. One was taking the February bar. And then there's another set of interviews coming up in Albany in April. I'm going to send Lynn Pucciarelli to that because she's helping me with all the interviewing. So we are trying to fill this last spot that we have open. In addition, in the past evaluations and comments, the Board of Supervisors has wondered why we haven't been using interns. We have some spacing issues, which I know some of you have seen, but we're going to work on getting that. I have interviewed a young lady who just took the bar in February, and she lives in Chestertown, and so she's going to intern for me once she gets her 3rd-year practice rule so that she can come in with us. And I have scheduled an intern who is doing a law school is normally 3 years. She's doing a condensed 2-year program at Albany Law School, and she'll be interning for my office at the end of May for 7 weeks full time. So we're trying to use other resources to help us. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm doing that. And I didn't know how to put that on the agenda, so I figured I'd just bring it up now. Okay?
Thank you, Marcy.
Thank
Marcy?
you very much.
Thanks, Marcy.
Marcy, your case management load without the 8, how is that, everybody?
We're working through it. It's, again, when we get this other person, I interviewed a young man who has passed the bar, but is waiting for character and fitness. So hopefully, I indicated to him that if he gets through character and fitness and gets sworn in, that I would offer him the job if I have it available. He was very good, so again, I'm waiting for him to do that. So once I get that other spot filled and using these interns, it will definitely help us. And I just wanted to thank everybody for your patience and, your encouragement on things.
Yeah. Supervisor Driscoll.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Marcy, good morning. Do you ever have a chance to get into the state of Vermont, Western Massachusetts, for job fairs and those types of...
The New York City brings in 13 different schools in the New York area, and New Jersey, and some from Massachusetts, but they didn't have Vermont at that one. But I am reaching out. I have posted the job opening at all the regional area, any law schools in New York State or in surrounding states, because it's important for us to get our name out there. And I think it's a great place to live and work, so I would like other people to feel that way too.
Thank you, Marcy.
Thank you. Anything else? Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Next on the agenda is Sheriff Office. Under Sheriff Lamry, you have the floor.
Good morning.
Morning.
As you'll see, our agenda is extremely short and sweet today. The only item that we have on their action agenda is item A, and it's to ratify the actions of the chairman for travel for two of our members of the scuba unit. We did training down in Massachusetts.
Okay, motion to bring that to the floor. Supervisor Simpson, second by Supervisor Marino. Any discussion on it? Supervisor Garrett.
I would have them subtract this taxes from the...
They usually do
We
back
will
the
take it
taxes
up.
out, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Good. I failed to mention at the Board of Supervisors meeting that $552,000 interoperability grant that you received.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
It's great to see that come in.
There was one other item, I think it was a referral item that we had about the...
Oh, did we vote?
We have the vote?
Let's vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
There was another item, I believe it was brought up at the finance meeting about the lack of AA coming into our facility or NA coming into the facility. And I know I'd spoken with Supervisor Sokol and Supervisor McDevitt about it following the meeting. As I said, I would look into it when I get back to the office. And what I found out that about 11 years ago, the people that were actually supposed to come into the facility would not go through the vetting process. We got through that a while ago. And then the most recent problem we had was they did not have enough staff to accommodate our entire inmate population. They could accommodate the males, but they didn't have any females that could come in to accommodate the female part. The direction we had received from the New York State Commission of Correction was if you can't provide services for everybody that's there, you're best not to provide any services. So after a long conversation between the sheriff, myself, and our Corrections Administration, we are going to waiver from what the New York State Commission of Correction told us to do, and we're going to start providing the services that we can provide.
And for that waiver, does it need to come through by any resolution here, or that's...
No, we're just going to start providing the services, and if somebody makes a grievance or a complaint to the commission, we'll deal with it then.
It's good to move forward with what you can.
If we have the ability to get people help and it doesn't cost us anything, I think we'll do it.
Any other items to come before the committee at this time for the sheriff? Then motion to adjourn. Moved by Supervisor Wild, second by Supervisor Coker.
Wow. My God.
Okay.
What the heck is happening here?
Yeah.
Take note.